INFJ are often seen as gentle souls, but beneath their warm exterior lies a world of complexity and contradiction. As one of the rarest personality types, they navigate life with a unique blend of intuition and emotion that can lead them to profound insights or deep isolation. Imagine feeling like an outsider, even in a crowd, grappling with intense feelings that seem too heavy to share. What happens when their empathetic nature becomes a double-edged sword? The darker sides of being an INFJ can be surprising, revealing struggles that many may not expect. Are you ready to uncover the hidden challenges faced by these enigmatic individuals? Bottling up negative emotions. Bottling up negative emotions is a significant challenge for INFJ, the rarest personality type in the Myers-Briggs system. This tendency stems from their deep-seated desire to maintain harmony and avoid conflict. INFJ often prioritize the feelings of others over their own, leading them to suppress their negative emotions to prevent burdening those around them. This behavior can create an internal struggle. While they may appear calm and composed on the surface, they are often grappling with unresolved feelings that they feel compelled to hide. The act of bottling up emotions can lead to a buildup of stress and anxiety. Over time, these unexpressed feelings can manifest in various ways, such as irritability or sudden outbursts when they feel overwhelmed. INFJ might lash out at loved ones or friends when their emotional reservoir overflows, often leaving those around them confused and hurt. This reaction is not a reflection of their true feelings toward those individuals, but rather an indication of their internal turmoil and inability to articulate their distress. INFJ are prone to feeling misunderstood, which exacerbates their emotional struggles. Since they often seek deep, meaningful connections, the lack of understanding from others can make them feel isolated. They may find it difficult to share their thoughts and feelings with people who do not resonate with their emotional depth or who dismiss their perspectives. As a result, they may retreat further into themselves, compounding their emotional distress. This tendency to bottle up emotions can also have detrimental effects on their mental health. The constant pressure of keeping emotions in check can lead to anxiety and depression if left unaddressed. INFJ may experience overwhelming feelings of loneliness despite being surrounded by people, as they often feel that no one truly understands them or appreciates their inner world. In relationships, this emotional suppression can create barriers to intimacy and connection. While INFJ desire close relationships that foster emotional growth, their reluctance to share vulnerabilities can hinder the development of such bonds. They might fear that revealing their true feelings will lead to judgment or rejection, causing them to maintain a facade of strength and stability instead, or abruptly cutting people out. INFJ, known for their empathetic and introspective nature, often exhibit a tendency to abruptly cut people out of their lives when they feel overwhelmed or hurt. This behavior can be surprising to those around them, as it often seems sudden and unanticipated. The INFJ personality type is characterized by a deep sensitivity to the emotional needs of others, which can lead to emotional exhaustion when they feel that their own needs are not being met. When conflicts or unresolved issues accumulate, an INFJ may reach a tipping point, prompting them to sever ties with individuals who contribute to their distress. This phenomenon, often referred to as the INFJ door slam, occurs when an INFJ decides that the emotional toll of a relationship outweighs its benefits. They may feel that they have exhausted all avenues for communication and resolution, leading them to conclude that cutting someone out is the only viable option left. This decision is rarely made lightly. It typically results from a lengthy process of internal deliberation where the INFJ weighs their feelings and experiences against the relationship's dynamics. For those on the receiving end, this abruptness can feel like a shock, as INFJ might not always communicate their struggles until it's too late. Extremely high expectations. INFJ are known for their idealism and high standards, which can manifest in extremely high expectations for themselves and others. This trait is deeply rooted in their personality, as they often strive for perfection in various aspects of their lives, including relationships, work, and personal goals. While having high expectations can drive INFJ to achieve remarkable things, it can also lead to significant disappointment and frustration when those expectations are not met. For INFJ, the pressure to meet their own standards can be overwhelming. They often set ambitious goals and envision a perfect outcome, whether in a project at work or a personal relationship. This desire for perfection can create a sense of anxiety, as they fear falling short of their ideals. When they inevitably encounter setbacks or failures, the emotional impact can be profound. INFJ may experience feelings of inadequacy or self-doubt, questioning their abilities and worthiness. This internal struggle is compounded by their tendency to be highly self-critical. They may hold themselves to standards that are unrealistic, leading to a cycle of disappointment. In relationships, INFJ often expect deep emotional connections and mutual understanding. They seek partners who align with their values and aspirations, which can make them appear overly picky or demanding. When a friend or partner fails to meet these expectations, whether by not being emotionally available or by not sharing similar goals, an INFJ may feel let down. This disappointment can lead to frustration and even resentment, as they grapple with the disparity between their ideals and reality. Moodiness. Moodiness is a defining characteristic of the INFJ personality type, often stemming from their deep emotional nature and complex inner world. INFJ experience intense emotions, which can lead to significant mood swings that may appear unpredictable or difficult for others to understand. This volatility is not simply a matter of being temperamental, rather. It reflects the profound sensitivity and empathy that INFJ possess. They often absorb the emotions of those around them, which can lead to fluctuations in their own mood as they navigate the emotional landscapes of others while trying to manage their own feelings. One of the primary reasons for this moodiness is the INFJ's tendency to bottle up emotions. Rather than expressing their feelings openly, they may choose to keep them hidden in an effort to avoid burdening others or causing conflict. This suppression can lead to a buildup of unresolved feelings, which may eventually erupt in unexpected ways. For example, an INFJ might seem fine one moment, and then become irritable or withdrawn the next, leaving friends and family confused about what triggered such a drastic shift. The internal struggle between wanting to be understood and feeling the need to protect others from their emotional turmoil can create a cycle of mood swings that is difficult for both the INFJ and those around them to navigate. INFJ are prone to overthinking and worrying about various aspects of their lives, which can exacerbate their moodiness. They often ruminate on past interactions or future possibilities, leading to anxiety that manifests as irritability or sadness. This tendency to dwell on negative thoughts can create a feedback loop where their mood worsens as they continue to focus on what's troubling them. The pressure they place on themselves to maintain harmony and perfection in their relationships can further contribute to feelings of frustration when reality does not align with their expectations. Another contributing factor is the INFJ's high sensitivity to external stimuli. They are deeply affected by their environment and the emotional states of those around them. If an INFJ finds themselves in a chaotic or emotionally charged situation, it can lead to overwhelm and subsequent mood swings. Their empathetic nature means they often feel others' pain as if it were their own, making it challenging for them to maintain emotional equilibrium in stressful situations. Self-destructive tendencies. Self-destructive tendencies are a notable aspect of the INFJ personality, often emerging as a coping mechanism in response to stress or emotional pain. INFJ, known for their profound empathy and sensitivity, frequently experience overwhelming feelings that can lead them to engage in behaviors that ultimately hinder their personal growth and well-being. These tendencies can manifest in various forms, including procrastination, avoidance, substance use, or other harmful habits that serve as temporary escapes from their emotional turmoil. One of the primary reasons INFJ may resort to self-destructive behaviors is their inclination to internalize stress. Rather than expressing their feelings openly, they often choose to keep their struggles hidden, believing that doing so protects others from their burdens. This tendency to bottle up emotions can create a pressure cooker effect. When emotions build up without an outlet, INFJ may find themselves resorting to unhealthy coping mechanisms as a way to manage the overflow. For example, they might indulge in excessive daydreaming or fantasy as a means of escaping reality, which can lead to neglecting responsibilities and relationships. INFJ are prone to overthinking and rumination. Their deep introspection can sometimes spiral into negative thought patterns where they dwell on perceived failures or past mistakes. This self-critical nature can exacerbate feelings of inadequacy and hopelessness, prompting them to engage in self-sabotaging behaviors as a form of punishment or resignation. They might convince themselves that they are unworthy of happiness or success, leading them to undermine their own efforts and potential. Another factor contributing to self-destructive tendencies among INFJ is their sensitivity to external pressures and expectations. Because they often feel responsible for the emotional well-being of others, they may neglect their own needs in favor of maintaining harmony and support for those around them. This self-neglect can lead to burnout and resentment, prompting them to lash out or withdraw entirely when overwhelmed. In such states, they might engage in impulsive behaviors that conflict with their values or long-term goals. Stubbornness. Stubbornness is a complex trait often observed in INFJ who are known for their idealism and strong convictions. Once they form an opinion or belief, INFJ can become inflexible, making it challenging for them to adapt or consider alternative perspectives. This rigidity is not merely a personality quirk, it stems from their deep-seated values and the emotional investment they place in their beliefs. For INFJ, their ideals often represent a vision of how the world should be, and when they commit to these views, they do so with a sense of purpose and conviction that is difficult to sway. This stubbornness can lead to significant challenges in both personal and professional relationships. INFJ are typically empathetic individuals who strive for harmony and understanding. However, when they feel strongly about an issue, their commitment to their viewpoint can overshadow this empathy. They might struggle to see the validity of opposing perspectives, believing that their understanding is not only correct but also morally superior. This can create friction in discussions or debates, as INFJ may inadvertently dismiss others' opinions or fail to engage in constructive dialogue. INFJ often experience what is known as an NITI loop, where they become trapped in a cycle of intuition and introverted thinking. In this loop, they focus solely on validating their existing beliefs rather than absorbing new information that could challenge their perspective. This cognitive bias can lead them to ignore evidence that contradicts their views, reinforcing their stubbornness and making it difficult for them to change course, even when presented with compelling arguments. The emotional weight that INFJ attach to their beliefs can also exacerbate their stubbornness. When an INFJ feels that their ideals are under threat or challenged, they may react defensively, perceiving the situation as a personal attack rather than a discussion of differing viewpoints. This defensiveness can manifest as frustration or withdrawal, further complicating interactions with others who may simply be trying to express a different opinion. Isolation. Isolation is a prevalent issue for INFJ, deeply rooted in their introspective nature and the intensity of their emotions. As one of the rarest personality types, INFJ often find themselves navigating a complex emotional landscape that can lead them to withdraw from social interactions. This withdrawal is not merely a preference for solitude, it is often a necessary coping mechanism that allows them to recharge and process their feelings. After engaging in social activities, INFJ typically require significant alone time to recover from the emotional energy expended during interactions. This need for solitude can sometimes escalate into prolonged periods of isolation, where they cut off contact with friends and loved ones. The tendency to isolate can be particularly pronounced when INFJ experience emotional overwhelm or stress. Their heightened sensitivity to the emotions of others means they often absorb external negativity, leading to feelings of anxiety and exhaustion. In such instances, retreating into isolation may feel like the only viable option for regaining their emotional equilibrium. However, this behavior can create a paradox. While they seek solace in solitude, they may inadvertently foster feelings of loneliness and disconnection from those they care about. Friends and family may find it bewildering when an INFJ who was once eager to socialize suddenly becomes unresponsive or distant. INFJ often struggle with expressing their emotional needs to others. They may fear that revealing their struggles will burden those around them or lead to misunderstandings. This fear can perpetuate a cycle of isolation, as they choose to suffer in silence rather than reach out for support. When they do emerge from these periods of withdrawal, INFJ might find it challenging to reconnect with others, leading to feelings of guilt or shame about their behavior. They may not fully comprehend why their absence has been hurtful, leaving them feeling even more isolated when they resurface. The emotional intensity that characterizes INFJ also plays a significant role in their propensity for isolation. They experience emotions deeply and may feel overwhelmed by the complexities of their feelings and those of others. This emotional depth can make social interactions feel draining rather than invigorating, prompting them to seek refuge in solitude where they can process their thoughts without external pressures. In this way, isolation becomes both a sanctuary and a source of loneliness. While it offers a reprieve from the chaos of social dynamics, it also reinforces the very feelings of disconnection that INFJ often dread.